heard how the birth of Jesus, wonderful as it was, led almost instantly to martyrs. The holy innocents, we call them in the West. All those children under the age of 2 who were slaughtered by Herod. The first martyrs. No priest is allowed to serve the liturgy unless he has placed on the altar table the antimension, which means instead of the table. The antimension is signed by the bishop, who gives his authority for that priest to serve the liturgy. From the very early days of the Christian Church, there have always been relics in the altar. When we have a proper consecrated altar, we shall have relics in it, as we do in the altar at Orthodox. But until then, the antimension has in it relics. When the bishop blessed the antimins for the whole of the archdiocese, for each of the priests, he did it on the altar table at Orthodox. And on the antimension it tells what relics there are sewn into one corner of the antimins. And our bishop brought with him relics of the Holy Innocents, those children who were slaughtered by Herod. So in our antimension we have small relics of those children who were martyred. When we think about it, everything has to do with the love of God. And when the love of God comes into the world, the first thing that happens is that people hate it. God has come into the world. Doesn't suit the devil. So the devil churns up those who don't want God. And violence and killing takes place. This has been the heritage of the Christian Church from those very first days. It will carry on being the heritage of the Christian Church until Christ comes again. So as Christians, we should at least be prepared for martyrdom. There's a law which comes into effect, I think, this year, probably tomorrow, called Martin's Law. And in that law, every public place has to have a special room, so that if somebody comes through the door with a machine gun or an axe, everybody will flee to that room and shut themselves in. We're prepared for martyrdom. If somebody comes in with a machine gun, will you stay where you are, or will you try to find some little room to hide? I shall stay where I am and hope that I get the first bullet. Not that I'm prepared, just hoping to go. Martyrdom isn't just the giving of a life. When two people get married, a man and a woman, the first thing they do is make a procession round the table. And during that procession, the hymns of the martyrs are sung. Why is that? because marriage is a martyrdom. Anybody who has a wife will realise that he must become a martyr. Anyone who has a husband, she must realise that she also has to become a martyr. Husband and wife are martyrs to each other. The woman obeys the man, but the man must also obey the woman. This is so important. When they start that married life together, they both become martyrs. Otherwise it doesn't work. Somebody becomes boss, the other one is downtrodden. That's not a marriage. That's a servant and master. Or, in some cases, servant and mistress. Either can take full control and just become a bully. Martyrdom. If you're not married, you still have an amount of martyrdom to endure. Because you must be a martyr to everyone in whom you come in contact. So that if somebody says to you, help me, give me, give me, give me, you become a martyr and you give. You don't think, oh, well, yes, what are you going to do with it? God has given us a life. He doesn't say, I'm only giving you this life if you're going to be good. He gives us a life. And we become martyrs. Because this life which God has given to us, we give back to Him, so that we live for Him, not for ourselves. You will have heard the saying, oh yes, she's a martyr to herself. Don't be a martyr to yourself. Be a martyr to God and to everybody else. Because it's all about love. And today, when we think of that beautiful phrase, Rachel weeping for her children, and she would not be comforted because they are not. All those thousands of children slaughtered by Herod, the martyrdom, all those little souls going directly to heaven. We must be the same. If we hope to go to heaven, we must become martyrs every single day. It's easy to be a martyr if somebody chops off your head. That's it, done, finished. But if you've got to do it every day, then that's a very lengthy martyrdom. But is nevertheless a martyrdom. And out of love for God, and out of love for each other, and the others, we become martyrs. Out of love. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit.